Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I am playing the Tier 9 French cruiser Saint Louis. I posted up a video about this ship a week or two ago, and I was a little rough on this ship. Now, I have not decided that I love this ship or anything, but I did have a good game in it. An actual good game. One that I was proud of. And it's, at least for me, not easy to do that. Uh, this ship, while it has a lot of resources, which you can see along the bottom there, it's got hydro, it's got a speed boost, it's got a heal, it's got a reload booster. It's just, to me, not very much fun to play. It is a long-range HE spammer more than anything. And while you can occasionally ambush a DD coming around an island or something like that and make use of this reload boost in a case like that to finish off a DD, you can see my comment there. If the Neptune captain knows what he's doing, Neptune can do just fine. But otherwise, Neptune often gets blapped early. So I don't really enjoy the play. For example, by contrast, I've also been working on finishing up the Italian cruiser line. So I've been playing the Brindisi quite a bit. In fact, I made it all the way through the Saint Louis and bought the Henri and got it all set up. And I don't know that I'll ever play Saint Louis again. But to be fair, because I was rough on it the last time, I wanted to make sure that I posted up this game to show you can have a good game in it, even if it's not a play style that I like personally. Others may. Now I've got to go in here and set these things because since 10.5, these won't stay checked for replays, but I like you to have the information when you're watching the replay. So there we go. So if you're not familiar, if it's the first time you've watched one of my videos, upper left, you see that kind of greenish rectangle. That's a friendly team, all of the ships on that team. And then the red rectangle on the other side, that's the bad guys. Now those red columns that surround each of the ship names will show you their relative hit points. And you can see the Fletcher on the enemy team is losing hit. Actually, he lost a lot of hit points. And I have to say that's a pretty darn good start. It's not often that happens, and I'm pretty thrilled that it did. Was able to use the reload booster and got what I consider, well, you can say a good shot, lucky shot, whatever you want. We'll call it lucky. Bad guys are down a ship, and I think that's a really great way to start. And that's probably the best start I had in any of the games that I played in this ship. So you can imagine how thrilled I was while I was playing this. And you can see how far back I'm sitting. And that is because the Alaska absolutely wrecks this thing. Georgia absolutely wrecks this thing. Aegir absolutely wrecks this thing. It does not have much in the way of armor, so your only defense really is to stay as far away as possible and try to never show broadside. So that means that this ship is, at least in my experience, a long-range HE spamming kiting ship, and I just don't find that playstyle all that fun. But as this game will show, that playstyle in this ship can offer some success. So back to the matchmaking. Well, it's pretty decent. I mean, we've got, other than the fact that I made fun of the Neptune, which you can see is pretty banged up, I think the teams are pretty well matched. You could make an argument that Tashkent, it does not match up well with Yugumo. Yugumo takes out our Alaska, kind of emphasizing the point I was making there. But Alaska's a phenomenal ship. You know, so did somebody just play badly and get sunk, or did somebody really play well and finish him off? Either way, we're down an Alaska, the bad guys are down a Fletcher. Our Neptune he's one good bone away from being out of the game. And our Georgia blaps the enemy Georgia, and the enemy Georgia blaps our Neptune. So, we are just shy of 5 minutes in. Both teams have lost 2 ships. And I'm trying like crazy to land some shells on the Jaeger over the top of that island. I see Georgia pushing in. Now, Georgia is it can be deceptive. It has a speed boost, and that thing can really move. So it is easy at this kind of range to put shells right over the top of it as it runs underneath. I'm just doing my best to put them on target. Now I am detected, because you can see the Yugumo there on the mini-map. Yugumo's in position to get torpedoes on our Iowa. He's got 2 Estegutlands over there, and I'm trying to angle up here. I don't want to get blapped. And I think maybe I should help with the Yugumo. And I don't really have to. But he did get those torpedoes off on the Iowa. You can see that Iowa survived the encounter, but he's down to about half of his HP. But it cost the enemy team their Yugumo. Now we had 2 caps. Looks like we're going to lose the Alpha cap. That means we're going to have 1 cap. The bad guys are going to have 2. That's going to happen here in just a couple of seconds. And I am deciding about where I want to go. I like the position I'm in right now because it affords me opportunity to shoot at anything that pushes. I don't want to get any closer than I am right now, because the closer that I get, the easier it is for one flank or the other to pick up my broadside. Lepanto takes out our Tashkent. Our Tashkent torpedoes and sinks the Lepanto. So there's kind of a trade there. Enemy Estegutland takes out our Georgia. And both teams are down 4 ships. Now these guys are going to make a big push here. I can see it coming. They've got our Kearsarge over here. But he's not going to be able to last long against Georgia, Alaska, and Aegu. We also know there's a DD over there, right? The Z-44 is over there. Our Georgia's not happy with the way the Estegutlands played. Trying not to judge. I'm not over there. Hard for me to tell from where I'm at anyway. So our Kearsarge does go down to the enemy Kearsarge. You can see where he's at. He just had a broadside shot at long range. And I'm trying like crazy to finish off this Georgia. And I managed to pick him off. So now I've got the Alaska. The Jaeger's still hiding behind the island over there. And I've got to watch this AP. The Alaska's AP is just gnarly. Yeah, there you go. Almost 9,000. Was I not angled enough? I don't think it matters, honestly. Those Alaska shells, if they hit this ship, the chance of a citadel is high. At pretty much any angle, I think. So I just have to kind of try and return the favor, make use of some speed and a little bit of maneuverability. Change my angle up here. I don't want to run into the edge of the map. 4 non-penetrations, basically 4 worthless shells there. And yeah, I threw some torpedoes out, but you can see that Alaska has come to a stop. He doesn't want to get close. Now we've still got 2 caps. Those Estegutlands, I did start a fire. Thank goodness it's my second one, and almost 50 shell hits. Our Estegutlands did manage to pick up the Charlie cap, or the one that is remaining. And it looks like the bad guys are going to make a push into Bravo north. They're going to face off with the Zumo, Iowa, Estegutland. And it looks like our Alaska is going to sit down there and try to keep the bad guys, the enemy Alaska, from being able to. Well, no, he's actually headed this way. I think the Alaska on that side is. Yeah, he may be crossing. We'll see. I'm working on the Alaska. I can see. Our Jutland, he's in trouble. I don't think he's going to be able to gun down the Z-44 by himself, so I'm going to try and help. I'm going to have to show some broadside, and while I'm doing this, I have to hope that the Alaska's not targeting me. I'm just trying to help the Jutland a little bit here, if I can. Check and see if he's aiming at me. No, he's not. Maybe I can get another shot before Jutland dies. And I just completely missed. But I'll get back here to the Alaska, try and help finish him off. I don't know that he can target much, but me, he's definitely going to sink here. Just a question of whether I'm going to be able to finish him or somebody else. Estergetland takes him out with guns. Good job. Both teams now down to 5 ships. We've still got 2 caps. And we'll just call it a significant points lead, but that could flip pretty quickly with the sinking of either the Izumo or the Iowa. Z-44 is probably pushing toward Iowa right now. I'm really hoping our Alaska is going to cross here and be able to light up the Z-44. I don't want to push that way, because if I do, Aegir's got nasty shells. The AP on that thing just cuts right through this ship like it doesn't even have armor. So I'll try to get Kearsarge burning. 2 kills, 75 shell hits, 4 fires. We'll call it 82 shell hits now and counting. Just shy of 90,000 damage. Trying to keep my distance. I don't want to get blapped. Got the hydro going, just in case. There's a fire. Just in case the Z-44 came this way. But I can see his torpedoes. So I don't have to worry about that now. Kearsarge is trying to get out of sight. I'm trying to get another fire started. I've got to be careful here because the Johan de Witt and the Alaska are probably pushing this way. I've got a big island between me and them. So I'm going to continue to try and pummel the Kearsarge. You can see Z-44. He'll be squaring off with the Estergetland, but he's got Estergetland spotted now. Keeping that cap reset. And Johan de Witt is close enough to start using his aircraft. There was a good hit on Kearsarge. I'm going to back up here, try and keep guns on him as long as I can. There's another fire, thank goodness. Damage sitting at 116,000 and counting. Will I get the kill shot on Kearsarge, or will someone beat me to that one as well? No, Estergetland gets him. And also the Z-44. Good on you. Juicy Lil B gets the double strike. Those torpedoes are going to land. And our Izumo is sunk. Both teams now down to 3 points. The bad guys are in a situation where they kind of have to push. They've got to secure a cap. Or sink somebody to have any chance of winning. They're down by 143 points. Our Alaska is trying not to show broadside to the enemy Alaska. I'm just trying to get fires started, do what damage while I can. The Alaska's running behind the island. He's trying to get unseen. I'm slowing down. I was trying to juke those shells and avoid running into our Alaska. Pinning myself broadside. Aegir throws some shells out this way because he's got my broadside. Got to turn in here a little bit. Try not to get blapped. Just keep the guns working. Trying to keep the cap reset at least until our Estergetland can pick up the A cap. If he can secure the Alpha cap, then I don't have to keep resetting Bravo. Taking a little chip damage there from the Aegir. And I'm probably close enough for Johan de Witt to begin using aircraft. Throw some torpedoes out in case Alaska comes around this way. Angle up to the Aegir. I'll throw some torpedoes behind me this way too. There's the Alaska. He is using his radar to know where to aim the guns. Gonna angle to that. Try to avoid getting blapped here. Nope, he fired at the broadside Alaska behind me. questionable call. Alaska's a lot tankier than St. Louis. And while he's trying to get our Alaska, I'm able to put shells on him. And you can see what happens when I show any broadside, that Johann de Witt. And that doesn't have what I'd call great guns. Just kind of smashed right through. So I've got to angle up. That cap is still being reset. At this point, I'm just kind of chuckling. I'm really surprised Ager stopped moving this way. I think if he had moved kind of in a straight line toward Charlie, he probably could have kept Alaska and I kind of zoned out, but who can say for sure. The range that he's at now, I'm going to spin around. I can juke some shells, use the throttle. See if I can't finish off Johann de Witt, or at least help finish off Johann de Witt. And I might be able to use this island. Ouch. Yeah, every time that Alaska hits me, it hurts. Might be able to use this island to go dark. Oof. Down to 7,200 hit points. Time for me to heal up. Johann de Witt using the aircraft. See if I can avoid getting smashed here. Yeah. I was hoping I would just run straight at the island, and I'm able to go dark. Throw those out there in case Alaska decides to just head right into Charlie. Some blind fire from Aegir. Oh, that's disappointing. There's a torpedo bug, if you're unfamiliar. I think I might have been, we'd have to roll it back to be sure, I might have been turning to port when I launched those torpedoes. So instead of all three going into that gap, that one right there just barely clearing the island, two of them smashed into this island. Man, I hate that bug. That's why I haven't played torpedo boats. I've been playing cruisers and battleships instead of destroyers like I normally would. Ha! I might have caught him with all three if I hadn't had that bug to contend with, but not sure that happened. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me. See you next time.